Okay, so hello. It's been a while since we played Dwarf Fortress, and I have been playing a lot of The Sims 3 recently. Now, with Dwarf Fortress, I've kind of been feeling that the last time I played it, I was struggling a little bit with some of the game controls. I think that basically I'm a bit unfamiliar with the game because I haven't played that much of it compared to what I used to play in the past, and that means that I was making some very silly mistakes. So I thought about continuing with the last fortress that I started, and I know I have this tendency to like start things and like kind of redo things all the time. But I thought it'd be nice to maybe just start a new fortress, but somewhere that is not going to present as much of a difficulty compared to where we were starting before. And that way we can just kind of play around with it a bit. It's not too high stakes or anything like that, and we can just try and build a nice fortress. And that was kind of like my idea. So I've generated a new world, and I've looked around for different locations. It's I always do really big ones for some reason. There's no need to do this, but we're going to be part of this civilization here. We're going to set up a fortress over here. We will be neighboring humans, goblins, and elves, so we'll have plenty of people to interact with. But we're not going to have loads of undead or anything like that, or complicated mechanics. We can just kind of take it a bit more easy and have a bit of a relaxed time with it. Now, I haven't streamed for about a week. So the last time I streamed The Sims 3, and we did like 4 hours of Sims 3 streaming. It was really, really good. And then when I was trying to save the save game broke, and I lost all of that progress. So that entire 4 hours of stuff I did in that stream were just gone, which is very dispiriting. So I took a little bit of a break from just the last week because I wanted to do some other stuff as well. I've done some painting and stuff. We will return to The Sims, and we're going to continue with the Legacy campaign as well. But obviously, like after losing 4 hours of stuff that I've done, it's a bit like, well, I don't really want to do it right now, So yeah, I thought we'd do something a bit different. So yeah, we'll just jump into it and see how it goes. Yeah, we're going to embark to here. It'll be interesting because I feel like now with all the Sims stuff that I've done on Twitch, I feel like most of the people who watch probably just watch the Sims 3 stuff. But this is the game that I played more of than like anything else, like Dwarf Fortress. Although I feel like I'm not very good at it anymore. I used to think that I was decent at it, but now I feel like I'm pretty bad at it. But we'll jump into it and see how it goes. Hey, Parabola, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. So yeah, we're going to set off here. We've got a brook. It's going to be heavily forested. And we're going to need to name some dwarves, starting with these 7 dwarves. And we'll just go for a very basic sort of setup, the kind of thing that we usually do in this game. 2 miners. I like to make them into masons as well. That's a personal preference of mine. Yeah, I'm fine. Just taking a bit of a break from streaming, but we'll probably be doing more of it again next week. And I've been able to get some painting done. That's something that I've been meaning to do more of, and it's like something that I always falls by the wayside for me. So I'm really happy about that. One day I would like to do some painting streams. That's like a long-term sort of ambition for me, but it's not really possible for me where I live at the moment. And I can hear. Sorry, I can hear the dog outside my door. I was wondering if she wanted something. Okay, so we've got 2 farmers, a woodworker, 2 miners, and we'll just go with a stone crafter, who is also a stone carver. And we'll go for a wood crafter, who is also a... we'll make him a mechanic. That's in down here somewhere. It doesn't really matter what we give them, to be honest. Like, starting skills isn't super important. Just make sure that you get 2 miners. That's the really important one. I've got the next week off, so I'm looking forward to the streams. Yeah, I need to take some time off work myself. Like, I've got all this annual leave that I've saved up, and because I work from home, I often forget about taking time off. It's very easy to fall into that sort of pattern where it's like, oh well, because you work from home, you don't really feel it. It's not the same sort of feeling as going into work and working in an office. I've never actually worked in an office, believe it or not, in my entire life. So yeah, alright, let's just have a look and see. So in terms of items, I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing, as I always do in this game, but one thing I very much believe in is that you should never take anything with you on the embark, which you can easily make yourself, and that includes ladders and things, because the location that we've chosen to embark in has got loads of trees. It's a very heavily forested area, so there's absolutely no need to take buckets and things like that, because we can make buckets. It's very easy for us to do that. It's far better for us just to take more seeds and well, not seeds, probably we got an anvil already, haven't we? Yeah, let's just take like 3 anvils because we can afford to take more anvils if we get rid of all that junk, and then we got some spare anvils. Like it's that kind of stuff that's more valuable to take, and I also usually take some cloth with me, like some silk because of strange moods. I think we've already got pigtail. Yeah, we've already got pigtail. Take some spider cloth. And then the other kind of cloth, which is yarn cloth, and we'll just take, I don't know, alpaca wool. It doesn't really make any difference. We've got plenty of drinks, we've got some meat, we'll take some more food. Oh, we should take some animals first. So let's take 2 dogs, well 4 dogs in total, 2 of each sex, and we'll do the same with cats as well. And because this is a relatively safe area, I'm actually going to take some sheep with me. I don't usually bother with these kind of animals. I'm usually dead against it because they just tend to get killed and they don't really contribute much because they die too quickly. We'll take geese. We always take geese with us. I'm a big believer in taking geese with me on any embark. So we'll take all of these animals with me. Yeah, Dwarf Fortress is a fun game. I think honestly it's more difficult to... I think the control scheme is more difficult than the game itself. I like even back when you know, before the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress came out, like a lot of the difficulty was just in knowing like the commands and things, like how to build a wall and stuff like that, because it's not intuitive at all. This game does a lot of stuff that just isn't intuitive and is kind of a little ridiculous. But in terms of like, yeah, the menus as well. Yeah, ASCII menus, awful, really awful. It's a lot better now actually because of the Steam edition. But like when I used to play this on the old ASCII version, although I used the tile set because I streamed it, so I'd stream it with a tile set, so it was a bit easier to understand. I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you what the shortcut is for like building a wall. I just had that as like muscle memory, you know. So if you watch any, I got like really old videos on YouTube. If you watch any of them, like of me trying to of like building something, I don't remember how to do any of the menus. And now that it's been like a couple of years or whatever since that was like a thing, and now that the Steam version's out, I definitely can't remember any of them anymore. But yeah, it's a great time to get into it with the Steam version. And we're still waiting for adventure mode as well, which is going to be exceptionally good when that comes out. But that's going to be a little bit of time, I think. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get that, and then we'll get some more kind of good updates as well. But yeah, no, the Steam version is a real godsend. Real big fan of it. In terms of that, though, I don't think there's anything else we desperately need to take. We'll just take some more food. Food is very easy to acquire in this game, actually. Let's just take some chinchilla meat. So here's something. So like, here's an example of like Dwarf Fortress being weird, right? So if we click on one of our dwarves and we go over to his, it should be in here, preferences, right? So every dwarf in the game has preferences for things, and these are like things that they like. But because there are like so if a dwarf eats food that they enjoy, they will be happier than if they eat food that is not one of their preferences. But the thing is that the list of things that a dwarf can have as a preference is so like obscenely weird. The chances that you will ever have food that lines up with their preference is like minuscule, unless you like this guy, for example. So Tun Ushridrudix, or Tun Quake Presence, as his name would be in English. His favourite food to eat is wren, black bullhead, wine, and dwarven sugar. Like, you know, so, you know, we can go through here and we can type in wren, right? And we can take some prepared wren brains. And we know that if he eats those, he'll be happier because of it. But yeah, like this game's absurd. But that's why I love it. It's that's kind of why I love The Sims. I love that they're so incredibly absurd, and there's so much stuff that you just don't need but exists in the game. But that's just like one example off the top of my head. Anyway, before we embark, we can name our fortress. I think we'll just do a random name. Anyone got to pick a number between 1 and 5? Just the first number that comes in the chat. I'll just go with that. You can do some incredible names, but we'll go with a random name. But yeah, like, you know what, I'll just go with the number 3. I'll randomize it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Sealwasps is the name of our fortress. And we'll go with that, and then we're going to hit the embark button. I should probably save a profile, just so that I don't have to do this all the time. So we'll just call this basic. And let's press embark. A dwarven outpost, you have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Domas Sabir. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labour comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plough or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the grizzly bears get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Ovad Takthatak, sealed wasps, strike the earth. Excellent. Okay, so let's just quickly pause the game and have a look at our dwarves and everything else that's on the screen. So we've got our 4 dwarves here. I usually like to zoom out a little bit because I feel that the default zoom in is really, really deep. I like to have like a big view of everything that's going on. So we've embarked here. We've got a waterfall here. So this is a nice little waterfall that we got here. It goes down several levels. Sandstone, microline. There's tetrahedrite ore here, which is great. Limonite as well, which is an ore of iron, I think, off the top of my head. We've gotten some, yeah, we've gotten some decent locations anyway. So we could build a fortress here. We've gotten loads of wood because you know this is a heavily forested area. I don't think there are any trees that are notable. I always keep an eye out for one particular kind of tree, but honestly, the chances that we ever have it is pretty low. The tree I'm talking about is olive trees. If we ever get olive trees in an embark, then that is a reason to celebrate. If we ever do an embark and there's olive trees, then we're immediately pivoting from making a normal fortress into making a soap fortress. But that's something for another day. We don't have olives, I don't see any. So yeah, let's think about what we're going to do. So, very first thing we do is we go to our labours here. Don't show me this again. I want my miners to only mine, right? I don't want my miners to do anything else. So we tick those 2 buttons, and then my miners will only mine, and they will. Well, they can be engravers and stonecutters, you know, because I don't mind them doing that. I don't want anybody to fish, like at all. Fishing dangerous, so we turn that off immediately. We want to set nobody does hunting because I don't want anybody to arrive and start being a hunter. I'm actually going, yeah, that's on that. Haulers, again, that's fine at the moment. Orderlies. Fine, planters, everything's good. So, yeah, we should be good to go. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. Do we need to do our standing orders? I don't think there are any standing orders that we need to change at the start of the game. Automatically weave all cloth. Turn that one off. Yeah. Okay, so very first thing we'll do is we will define a pasture where we can have our dwarves. I think if we build down here, this will be a good location for us to start digging an entrance to the fortress down here. This is a very nice defensible little area. So if we were to define a pasture down here, we could set that as an area to send our sheep to. So let's do that first. Pasture. We'll just set it to be this big. So we want to assign our rams to this pasture here, and then once we've done that, we want to think about how we're going to dig an entrance into this fortress. I think digging it down here would be ideal. I'm also looking at the rocks down here. We want to try and avoid any aquifers if we can. I know that there's going to be a light aquifer where we're at, but there is a way that we can potentially see whether there's likely to be an aquifer on this level or not. Aquifers can only appear in certain levels. So this is silty clay. And despite what you might think from that name, this is actually a level that an aquifer can't spawn on. That means that, yeah, this is all claystone as well. Claystone is another one. Yellow sand is one that you can get an aquifer on, so there could be an aquifer up here. So this is actually a good place for us to start digging, because it means that we may potentially avoid having to dig through an aquifer. So let's start digging this out here. We'll just dig a basic 3x3 corridor, which will serve as an entrance. Yeah, just down here. And we'll also then... what I usually like to do is I like to have like a turn. And then we'll have what we will have is like a basic... this is just a where we'll have a staircase going down. So this will be a very basic sort of layout, and yeah, we don't need to worry too much. Oh, the other thing we should check as well, actually, before we unpause, is if there are any dangerous animals on the map. There aren't any dangerous animals yet, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We will go out here and we will tell our dwarves to start cutting down trees. Cut down this one. Just cut down all the trees that are outside of our fortress to start. And yeah, we'll get started on this. So yeah, that's basically it. We're going to start mining down here. Oh, our dwarves might not be able to make it here, actually, just thinking about it. There's a possibility that they're not going to be able to figure that out. So, yeah, because this is bisected here by the river. So what we want to actually do first is we want to cut down a tree. Doesn't matter where, which one. We'll just cut down any one. We'll cut down this one here. So we're going to cut down a tree, and we're going to tell the dwarves to build a bridge to get across here into here, because I want to dig on this side. So yeah, we've got some ginkgo wood logs there, and what we'll do is we'll construct a bridge here, and if we do this properly, then we can always make it so that this bridge is a defensive bridge, so we'll be able to close the bridge. Oh, we don't have enough wood. We'll need to cut down another tree. Let's go cut down another ginkgo tree here and another one over here. So yeah, just a very nice, pleasant start to a nice fortress. There isn't anything too interesting up here. There's a bunch of plants and things, but nothing too, you know, really write home about. We'll just take it nice and easy for now. Okay, so one of our dwarves will go and build this bridge here. We'll be able to link this up to a lever later on, and that will allow us to close this bridge. So that potentially means that if any monsters come into the map from this side of the map, then that will be a basic defense that we have, you know, against any monsters. And it looks like sturgeons are fighting down here. I'm not sure what they're fighting, but they're not fighting our dwarves, or at least I hope they're not. Waiting for construction, so yeah, it'll just take them a while to get this built. It's just one of those things. We'll also need to see whether this river freezes in the winter. It's spring at the moment, but obviously later on during the winter it may freeze over. And that's something that we're going to consider in our defenses in terms of, like, you know, what are we going to do as far as our what you call it, as far as our fortress defenses are concerned, because we want to make sure that that's not going to be an issue. We don't want to construct defenses and then the water freezes over and then people can just walk into our fortress because the water's frozen. Takes them a while to build this. This farmer is the one who's building it here. He is named Saxzulg City Braids. So we've got an ag wooden bridge, and now everybody's going to be able to cross over, and they'll start doing the tasks that I've set down here. And they'll start moving the sheep over there as well. Let's just leave that for now. I think once we're down here, yeah, so they'll start digging down here. We'll need to place a farm somewhere. That's going to be an important thing as well. One thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to try and make use of some potentially make use of some tracks, because that's not something that I usually bother with either. But I think it'd be interesting to make like a track in order to gather up wood and then be able to drop that down into the fortress potentially. So that's something else that we might do. And I might start planning that out now, or in a little bit. But for now, we'll just dig out. And we got bauxite, claystone, some rubies already. Nice to see. Bauxite, it's not a high quality material or anything, but it has a nice color. It's always important, you know, in Dwarf Fortress. So we'll dig this out over here. We've got on the microline as well. Microline's got a satisfying color. Oh, kaolinite. We've got kaolinite as well. Kaolinite is used in the production of porcelain. So we could potentially make some pottery, including some statues out of that, and have some nice looking statues in our fortress. So that's another thing that we can potentially do at some point. So yeah, we're just slowly digging all this out. It'll take us a while to get there. But once that's been done, we can then start kind of moving stuff around and getting the very basics of this fortress built. I think whilst they're doing that, in fact, we should also be... well, they're digging this out here. We're gonna need a location for farms. That's gonna be another big issue. Kind of scared about digging up, because if we dig up, then there's a risk that we will uncover the aquifer. Although I think it's going to be a minimal risk, because there is silty clay on this level as well. So I don't think this yellow sand is going to be aquifer. But we should consider it. So, you know what? I think what we'll do is we will also build another one of these here. As such, but what we're going to do here is we're going to build a staircase leading up to this level. Oh, actually, that's going to be too far. Yeah, let's just build that here. So yeah, we'll build a staircase leading up to here. And there's a particular pattern that I like to use for staircases, which is this... it's like a 3x3 staircase, but I like to leave the middle step not a staircase, so that you can put things into it. And we're also going to have another staircase that's going to lead down from here, and that's going to lead deeper into the fortress. But up here we'll have some farms and things. So if we're going to plan this out, we would have, well, we would want to have like, what's this here? This is peach tree roots, so yeah, this is all going to be farm. Let's do 6x13. So 6x13 is a good size, and the reason I do 6x13 is because we can fit two brewers in here, and then we can have like a big. We can have two 5x5 farms. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we can do that. And then above here we can have a small, just like a small stockpile room, just to put seeds and plants and things. So I think this is a very good basic design to go with to begin. So we'll do that. But so we'll need to wait for them to dig all this out, and it'll just take them ages to dig this out. I think one thing that we can do whilst they're digging this out is if we were to make a furniture workshop, we could set up a carpenter's workshop just outside here. It doesn't really matter what they use. Let's use. We'll just use that. We're going to set up a workshop over here. We're going to tell them to start making beds, because that's going to be one of the first things that we need in our fortress. Hey, Tactics! How fares the fortress? We've literally just started. We're about 30 minutes into this, and we've we've dug out our first corridor. So I would say the fortress fares well. You know, so far we haven't had any nasty issues. But you know, it remains to be seen how long that's going to last for. And we've already got tetrahedrite, which is excellent. So tetrahedrite is an ore of silver and copper. So that means that we've got silver, that means we've got copper. If we find tin, we can make bronze. You know, one of the best, well, one of the best quote-unquote metals in the game. And yeah, so it doesn't look like there's an aquifer here either, so this is going to be fine for us to dig into. Dwarves have like a funny way of digging things. You'll notice that they don't seem to dig in any useful or conceivable, you know, like they just go wherever they want. So we kind of just had to, you know, pay no mind to that. But yeah, once they finish digging this out here, this will be a big stockpile room, which will be a stockpile for food. So let's place a stockpile down here. Well, it won't be a food stockpile. It will actually be a custom stockpile for plants, specifically. So we don't want to put anything else in there. We'll put plants, and we'll put all drinks that are made from plants in there as well, and seeds. So seeds, plants, drinks, which is excellent. So there's a stockpile there for them to put stuff into. Yeah, that's true. Only digging is faster in soil. I mean, when they get skills in digging, though, they do get very quick. It's just when you start out, they're pretty slow at it. But it doesn't take them long to get like skilled up in digging. So it's not something that I ever particularly worry about. It's just irritating at the start because you want them to dig out stuff so that you can move into, like here for example, we want to start placing these farm plots. So this should be a 5x5 farm plot here, I think. And then two 5x5 farm plots. And then the reason I left that gap at the bottom is for the stills. So I'll put a still here. And why don't we use some of this? Yeah, I'll just use some of this rock. Why not? We'll use some of the microline. It'll take them all off to carry it up the stairs, but hey, should be fine. So yeah, now that we've gotten this workshop over here, we're going to tell them to make some beds. I'm going to specify that we want to make it out of, I don't know, let's go with willow, and let's put that on repeat. So they'll use the willow logs in order to make beds. Doesn't really matter if they're all the same material or not. For me, it feels nice if they're all the same material. So this first part over here, this top one here, we're going to set this to be plump helmets. As everybody knows, plump helmets grow all season round. This second plot here, we're going to set this one to cave wheat. So it's going to be fallow in the spring and winter, but for summer and autumn, we're going to grow cave wheat here. And that's going to be our starting farm, and that's going to be where we'll start with some, be able to get brewing and everything else that we need to do. The other thing that we can do now is we can dig out a corridor down here, and then we can start planning out some other things. So we're going to need about 1, 2, 3, I think about 4 little rooms to the side here. So we'll do that, and then we've got in this space here, we could put a stockpile here potentially, and we're going to then build a big room here. This is a big room here, and this is going to be where we're going to put all of our geese. We're going to store all of our geese inside this one room over here. So we'll dig that out as well. And this is going to be our very basic farm. Nothing too fancy again, just kind of like very, very basic sort of setup, but it's gonna suffice, and it'll suffice for a very, very long time. This can feed a lot of dwarves, so we'll do that there. We got our basic food stockpile over here. I'm going to make another food stockpile here, but it's going to be for this one here. So this one's going to be a custom stockpile again, and it's going to be for food that isn't plants. Actually, yeah, there isn't any of these things. So it's just things Just for things that aren't in the stockpile, basically. So just generic stuff that we can, so that it gets stored somewhere inside. Also, I just realised that I set all of this to. I don't want any of these other junk in here as well. Actually, I just realised I made that mistake. It should just be a food stockpile. None. 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 Okay, so just that, yeah. Just check this stockpile here. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got those two stockpiles here, just two basic, boring old stockpiles. And then these rooms here, we're going to have a kitchen, a butcher, a leather crafter, and a tanner. So that's just why we have 4 little rooms here. And we want them to be in our separate rooms because especially the butcher, it's very important that we have the butcher in a separate room. We're going to very quickly go down here. So this guy has made 1, 2, 3 beds. We'll give him a new task. No, we'll let him finish the beds first. It's not super important that we get doors made. But yeah, this is going to be a zone here. And similar to how we have the pen outside for the sheep, this one is going to be the inside pen. But we're just going to assign all of our geese to this pen. So we put all the geese in there. Oh, the other thing we should do as well, before I forget. We do have a pen here. You always get 2 random animals, which are the animals that drag the cart in order to get to the location. Usually they just end up starving to death. We're going to pasture them so that they don't starve to death. I mean, we'll probably butcher them at some point because we can't breed them. We don't have a breeding pair. We'll be able to prevent them from starving to death at the very least. So let's build this here. We'll build all this out of microlean because why not? It's got a nice colour. So what was this? This was a... I placed down a thing and then forgot what I placed down. Was this a tanner's? Yeah, it's the tanner's. I need to keep track of what I'm placing. Right, so there's a planet tanner's. We'll put a butcher's right there. Farming, butcher, tanner, kitchen. And the last one was actually just a it was actually a crafts workshop. No, it wasn't. It's a there's a specific leather workers workshop, isn't there? I'm pretty sure there is, unless they got rid of it. Oh, it's in clothing and leather. That's why. Yeah, leather worker. So yeah, so we'll put this here. So then we've got our 4 workshops over here. They should start moving the geese inside. You can see that they're also starting to now plant stuff, which is good. Our miners are also not doing anything, so let's tell them to start digging again. And how long is this? This is 8 wide, so we could do another corridor down here. That's 8 down there, 8 down there. Maybe we'll just maybe we'll dig it off to the side down here. So we're just going to dig down a few levels here, not loads and loads, just a little bit deeper. And we'll be digging our bedrooms down here basically. So our dwarves will start to get all their stuff downstairs. Like workshops will be another thing that we'll put downstairs as well. So that's going to be important too. I also wanted to start thinking about tracks in order to set up a system for wood to be dumped into the fortress. But we'll think about that in a little bit. For now, everything's going pretty smoothly. It's late spring. We've already gotten a lot of our junk set up. Our dwarves are slowly building these workshops out. Our geese are not contained, but they'll get to that eventually. This is a pretty generic map, Galka. It's obviously got a river running through it and a waterfall. So it borders goblins, elves, and humans. But other than that, it's not particularly exciting. My main aim is that, like, the last few times that I played Dwarf Fortress, I felt that I'm pretty rusty at the game and I'm making a lot of silly mistakes. So I wanted to build a simple fortress just so that I could go over like basic things and not have the pressure of like, oh, if I mess this up, then the entire fortress is going to have like 20 dead dwarves in it. So I just wanted to build a more simple fortress and just see how things go. It's really damp. Why is this considered damp? Is claystone? Oh, claystone is a aquifer clay, isn't it? Wait, it shouldn't be damp actually. I'm not sure why it's considered that damp. Unless it's dolomite. See, this is the kind of thing that I'm like trying to go over again. Hmm. We'll tell them to dig it out again and see what comes up. Looks like this is not an aquifer level anyway. Aquifers are really weird since they changed they changed over from you know, old Dwarf Fortress to new Dwarf Fortress. It's been a bit of a strange one. Also, I hate how these stairs are now like so yeah. See, it's starting to fill with water, and I'm not sure why. From one of these levels, isn't it? Yeah. What we'll do is we'll dig out all of this. Pretty sure that can go down 5 more. Yeah, we'll dig out all of those. So they'll come and do that, and we're just going to wall all this in. Let's go over here. So this guy's told to make beds. We'll tell him to go make blocks now. Make wooden blocks. Just actually cancel that task. I want you to make the wooden blocks out of So I want him to make it out of specific wood. I'll tell him to make them out of ginkgo. Just do that and repeat. And no particular reason for ginkgo. But we'll just go there anyway. I feel like in the older version of Dwarf Fortress, light aquifers were not as commonplace as they are now, or at least they not as commonplace, but they didn't go down. They didn't extend down as many levels as they do in the current version. I feel like they extend down a lot further than they used to, basically. Yes, moving it does, but I don't know. I like to do it with wood. I've always done it with wood. I don't know why. I don't know. Personal preference. Yeah, this is not an aquifer level anyway, so this is going to be fine. This is where we'll dig bedrooms. If I do it with wood blocks, then I'll remember that it's an aquifer level basically. I'll just tell this guy to make a bunch of wooden blocks, and then I'll tell him to do that. Yeah. Alright, construction, wall. See, it stops on this level. I mean, I don't need aquifer. Well, to be honest, I've got access to a far better source of water in terms of the river over here. So yeah. But hey ho, I knew there was an aquifer here. I just hoped that I'd been able to skip it. But it's no issue. It's no big issue. Shouldn't be a problem at all. It's only a light aquifer. Very different beast to you know, the everybody's favourite gypsum here. See, for some reason they think this is damp here. But yeah, it's just because that's where the water's gone down. Carnelians, white jade, limonites, onyx, kaolinite, turquoise, hematite, gypsum, tetrahedrite. A lot of very fancy ores and things. Alright, so that's going to take a little bit, but yeah, it's once that's done, it gives that dwarf something to do. It gives my dwarf experience carving, I guess. Right, so I think that's the main things out of the way then. We can just start building our bedrooms now. We've got our entranceway over here. The other thing I was talking about was what I want to do. I want to sink a hole over here that goes down several levels. So let's say that this is our let's say that this level here is going to be our workshop level, right? So once it's finished saving the game, this is what I need in The Sims 3, by the way, to prevent what happened from last time happening again. I need to start doing regular safety saves in The Sims 3 going forwards. Good grief, this does take a while though. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so what I was thinking was we could have this be our kind of like our workshop level, right? So let's say that we dug a corridor out to here, right? So we dug a corridor out to here, this position. And then out to this position. And then we can have a quantum stockpile here, which will is that right? Is that where I want it to be? No, ideally the quantum stockpile would actually be sorry, it takes a little bit of planning for me to do this. So we'd have a quantum stockpile using tracks. So this track would go down here, like, well, we'll just do it like we only need to do it as a single track, don't we? Yeah, we can just do it as like this as a loop. Except we would have that there, and then we'd have a channel that channels all the way down to here. So just like a big hole basically in the floor. So there'd be a hole here. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, yes. Ambitious, I know. We can get rid of all this here. So this would be where the quantum stockpile would be. Okay. And then we could build our workshops around this, or at least some of them. This would be where we'd have our wood workshops. That being said, I need to make sure that that we can close off the quantum stockpile. So we could have it like that. Then we could have workshops all around. So 1, 2, yeah, something like this. That'd be like a very basic sort of one, and then we could keep having workshops around that. But we could do it like that. And then having like this. Okay, yeah. So we'd have it here. Okay, good to go. Right, we'll try this. It might be a total mess up, but we'll find out. Sorry, I wasn't reading chat. I was like looking at what was going on. How do you deal with doors not keeping critters out in the current version? The way that I would keep critters out is that I would never rely on doors to begin with. I would always use drawbridges. So if you want to keep stuff from getting into your fortress from the outside, just use drawbridges. That's the answers. Like, it's far preferable to make use of drawbridges for that sort of thing than it is then basically it is for using doors. Like doors are too risky. You know, they can be knocked down by things like werebeasts and the like. So I would always just use drawbridges. That being said, if you're on about like doors like to keep geese and things, like, you know, keep animals inside your pastures, there should just be an option on them to set it so that pets can't pass through them. I'll see if I can find it in a moment once we're done doing all this digging. Like, I haven't built any doors yet, so it'll be a moment before we see any. Oh, God, they think all of this is damp because all the stuff above is all aquifer. I should have gone down one more level before I started doing this. It's going to be a real pain in the arse. But hey, yeah, that's what we put up with. Don't they? I haven't really noticed it, to be honest. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for that sort of thing, I would just use drawbridges. I would set up a drawbridge. I would if there's like a section of the caverns where I want people to go to, I would wall that off. So that there's like this section here, which is where my dwarves are allowed to go inside the caverns, and that's kind of like how I've always treated the caverns. And like the thing is that in this game, you're always trying to minimize the amount of decision making dwarves have to do. Because dwarves make the wrong decision 90% of the time. So if you minimize the amount of decisions they're allowed to make, then that will save you issues. Yeah, this is actually... See, this is actually aquifer level, isn't it? Yeah. See, we're going to have to dig even further down, which means that all this is null and void. Null and void, I should say. Okay, well, scrap all this, because this is all aquifered. We'll dig even further down. Yeah. Yeah, these aquifers just go really deep now. They like we reached the caverns already, and we're dealing with aquifers still. It didn't used to go this far down. I mean, now that we're at the caverns, maybe that's gonna save us from that. But yeah, we've even dug straight into the caverns. Oh, this is going to be a real pain in my ass. Yeah, look at all this. This is all damp. All of this is damp. So the aquifer extends through the caverns, which means that we have to dig through the caverns to get past the sodding aquifer. Alright, I'm gonna do this the kind of risky way. Yeah, just keep digging down through just dig through the caverns. And let's build some walls. It's a good thing that I've been telling them to make blocks, really. There's a diagonal here, which something could pass through, so we're going to need to dig this out here. And build a wall here and then a wall here. Shale, cinnabar, petrified wood. Okay, there shouldn't be anything. There should be no aquifer this far down. But man, it's incredible that it reaches into the actual caverns. I feel like that was never a thing before, but maybe I'm just like misremembering it. It's a good thing that dwarven walls are impervious to any damage whatsoever. Actually, they should be able to just do that. That shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I might just be misremembering it. I'm probably just getting annoyed at things that I shouldn't be getting annoyed at. Ah, sappers. Yeah, sappers. I just tell them to smooth this level out. So we didn't manage to get all the way down here either. Well, I mean, the most ostentatious thing to do would be to make your tracks out of platinum or lead or some other strange material. That'd be the most dwarven way to make your tracks. If you can't do it that way, although obviously it's a very expensive way of doing it. All right, so we completely walled this off. So we've unlocked the caverns, but we've we've immediately walled off the caverns so that they don't present a challenge to us. Just, stuff like this, just easier to just wall it off to start with and not, risk anything getting in whilst we're still setting up. Yeah, gold tracks, for example. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you want to do. Although you probably want to save the gold for gold coins, so that when you make the shotgun trap using your gold coins, then you'll be prepared. You'll have that ready, right? That's what you want to save those for. Don't know how to do it? It's a fun thing to learn how to do. I every time I've tried to do it, I've messed it up. So, you know, like, it'll certainly be a learning experience. But it's theoretically possible, which means it's absolutely worth doing. Minecarts are a bit like, I don't use minecarts for much. I use them mostly for automating things like refuse. So I like to set up a minecart which will dump refuse into somewhere. But that's kind of why I wanted to try and make more use of minecarts for some basic stuff, which is why I'd like to do a minecart track that dumps wood into a hole in the ground. That's kind of like the reason why I'm interested in this. What level? Water's still accumulating, although it's accumulating from here, I think. Where is this here? Yeah, let's just dig a staircase that goes down. To here. And then we'll dig the ramp that goes opposite it. The channel. Yeah, we should just the easiest thing to do would just be to smooth all of this instead of doing it the way I was doing it. So we'll just tell them to smooth all of this, and that should prevent any other spills. I don't think there are any other places the water's coming in from. But we'll just tell them to do all that. So we've already smoothed all this out, so hopefully there's not going to be any more water coming in here. We will keep an eye on it though, just in case. I did see a 2 just a moment ago. That could have just been water spreading out. Can just keep an eye on it. Any 2s? Any 2s? Any 2s? No, it's all drying out now that it's all been smoothed. Excellent. Oh no, wait, there's some 2s. Migrants have arrived. Will the actual fortress be in the caverns or above it? Probably above it. You know what? I'm just going to just to save myself the sanity. I'm just going to wall this off as well. This will probably fill it with water. We'll have access to water to like flood the fortress a little if we ever need it. Don't need that there. But yeah, most of the fortress will probably... Well, I guess actually this fortress is mostly going to be below the caverns now because of the aquifer situation. Gonna have to dig this out, actually. True solution would be to have a sump level for your staircase and then a well at the living level. Maybe. I don't know. I just hate dealing with aquifers, always have done. In like years and years and years and years and years ago, when I streamed this often, I just turned them off entirely. Well, that was back before. That was back before you had light aquifers, so you only had one kind of aquifer, which was the heavy aquifer. Whereas now you've obviously only got heavy and light, so it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still a pain in the arse. Yeah, that was it, and that's the reason I turned them off, because I just didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to have to go through that every single time I started a new fortress. Anyway, we do have some new dwarves. So we've gotten a new miner, excellent. It looks like we've gotten a second woodcutter, and a trader. What skills do you have, Mr. Trader? Skills. Basically nothing useful. Although you've got novice keeping, novice record keeping, so you can be our bookkeeper. You know, that's fine. And I guess you can also be our trader, I suppose. So yeah, they're smoothing all this out, so that should be no problem. And yeah, this is still filling up with water. It's filling up with water from above. These tiles have got aquifer above them, which is why they're filling up with water. I'm pretty sure that's the reason anyway. Because this is all aquifer as well. So yeah, we just block it off with walls and let it fill with water. None of it's dripping down here anymore, which is excellent. So how are we doing over here? So this is now dug out. We accidentally went down a single level, I guess. Yeah, we'll go down one more level here. So this will be where our quantum stockpile goes. Actually, what we should do is we should build a because I don't want people to be able to walk down into the fortress through this corridor that we just built. Let's first of all just block off the part where it goes through the caverns first. So let's build a wall. No, we have to build a wall in the corner first, because otherwise they'll have trouble building the other two. So yeah, we got loads of wooden blocks, by the way, so we can just tell them to stop building the wooden blocks. I also always forget to set up my hotkeys. That's something I should do pretty swiftly. Let's tell them to stop that. Add new task. Cancel doors. Make wooden doors and make them out of, I don't know, cedar. We'll make some nice wooden doors. Okay. So that's all good there. Doesn't look like there's any other worries or anything else to be concerned about. Yeah, excellent. So we've gone through the aquifer. We're making sure that they build this in a very specific order. And then we build the last wall here. So we don't have any dwarf getting trapped inside the caverns by building in a weird way. Which is very typical of dwarves, right? Because otherwise, if we told them to build this one last, they would have been like, I don't know how to build that there. So we do it like this, and then that is all completely sealed off. So this is going to be the level where we have our workshops and things. So let's we may as well just start digging from this side. This will be our quantum stockpile here. And what was the design we had before? Well, we had a kind of like entrances on either side. And then we were doing this like this, weren't we? Yeah. So it was like I think I'll make it like one bigger than what I had it before. The reason I want to make sure that it's you know, cut off is so that dwarves don't accidentally drop anything on their heads, which is you know, obviously going to be an issue for them, because they might accidentally drop the wood on their heads when it goes down the hole. So let's just make sure that we got this right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 5. So that should be one more off the top there. So that is 11. So yeah, that's right, because it's 4 plus 3 plus 4. So that's 8. Yeah, so that's 11 across. And it's all, yeah, okay, so this is perfect. This is how we want it to be laid out. So we'll let them dig that out first, and then if we go up to here, we'll dig this out one more down. Build that there like that. Keep doing this wrong. Build that there like that. Okay, so this level here, we'll have our bedrooms on this level, and then below we'll start having workshops, even though having workshops will inevitably piss off our dwarves, because they will be upset about noise and things. Although I don't think noise is a super massive concern for them. Like that. Right. So, yeah, this is what we're going to have up here. So my plan is to have a track that goes to have a track stop here. I don't think we want it to have any friction because we just want it to go around. Yeah, so we'll have no friction there. And actually, we should cancel that first. We should build the actual track first. So constructions, track. like so. Cancels give water, needs empty bucket. Did he bring a pet with him? That's usually a sign that someone's brought a pet with them. Others. Oh, there's troglodytes on the map and ravens. No, who's he trying to give water to then? He can't be giving water to a pet because there aren't any pets on the map to give water to. We'll ignore it for now and just see if it comes up again. Yeah, so we have this track here. And what we want to do is we want to have a track stop here, which will dump there. You know what, I should, in order to make this a bit safer, I should just dig out the sides as well. So that the dwarves can access this through the sides. So that they don't accidentally... I mean, it shouldn't be an issue anyway. Actually, we don't need to worry about that if they're guiding the... if they're guiding that, so we'll leave it like that. And then we'll have a... So yeah, they're constructing that track stop. I'm going to cancel this and do it again, though, because I just want to double check I did it right. Construction, track stop, pointing down. Yeah, I won't have it on friction, because we'll just have the dwarves guide it. Oh. No, we can have them push it. We'll try both. We'll see what happens. Oh, right. Yeah, because there's one thing that I neglected here is that there is a where's you call it? How do we remove constructions again? It's I'm showing my idiocy here. Because this is an upward track because there's a ramp here. So we need to clear the ramp out first so that doesn't cause any issues. So that means that I need to get rid of the construction, and I actually can't remember how to get rid of constructions. Gem window. How have I lost the ability to do this? I've completely forgotten how to do it. It's dirt over here. I'm an idiot, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, is it undermining? Is it really undermining? Yeah, it is. Yeah, there we go. I just couldn't remember it. That's all. Yeah, thanks Tenny, for reminding me. My brain doesn't work as well as it used to. Oh no, getting rid of that actually also got rid of the ramp, which is nice. So if we put that back, it shouldn't cause any issues now. So we go back to our track, and again, just like that. So we got our track here. They'll replace the track, and then that shouldn't cause any issues. And now I can place the track stop here. Yep, now that it's not a ramp, we can place the track stop using our wooden blocks. Let's add a new task, and we will make this task a cart. Make a wooden mine cart task here. So we've got our little layout track over here. Let's just get rid of these ramps here, and let's also then start building a little stockpile for them to put wood into. So this guy's going to just make a wooden minecart here. We got on one door. He didn't make many doors before I told him to start. Or did he run out of wood? I can't remember. Yeah, so we got on this here. So we got on a a track stop here and a track stop here. So what we want to do is we want to set up a just a small stockpile here. Just wanted to make that a little bit bigger, like so. So this will be a wood stockpile. And then down here, on this here, let's just quickly get rid of that. I don't want them to have the the upward ramp. Yeah. So on this one here, we will also then make a new stockpile. Just a 1 tile stockpile. Except, and this will be a wood stockpile. Alright, so they're putting the wood over here. This stockpile here. So this stockpile is forbidden from taking from everywhere. It can only take from specific places. I'm gonna say that this stockpile can't take it from anywhere. It's just a stockpile for wood. Then once we've gotten that up, we should now be able to define a track route. So the way we do this is we add a new route, starting here, add a new stop, assign the minecart, and we want this to be wood. Conditions. So push off east immediately when full of desired items. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do, right? Oh, we also need to set where the mine stop takes from. Yeah, I don't think we need the second stop. I actually think we only need the 1 stop. I think that should be enough. So he should put that there. And let's see if they manage it. So now that this is here, yeah, they're starting to fill this up with wood. So it's got wood in it. And then they push it down there. And wouldn't you know it, all the wood ends up here. Excellent. Oh my god, that is so satisfying. That is so incredibly satisfying to see. So it means that now whenever we mine any wood, they should immediately put it into this cart, and now it will just go tumbling into the fortress, and it's all here, ready to go. Oh, I am so satisfied with that. We don't usually do stuff like this. We should definitely make more use of this kind of technology, but this is the kind of thing that we wanted to do. So now we can just put a bunch of workshops down here, and they're in the heart of the actual fortress themselves. We'll just use we'll put 3 woodcrafters workshops in the top there, and then we will put in yeah, carpenters workshops. We'll put in a not a carpenter's workshop, but a what's the word? Crafts workshops. Put in a couple of these. And there you go. So we've got some crafts workshops, got some carpenters workshops. All of these will make use of the wood. And it's all just going to pile up right here. Although we do need to make sure that dwarves don't... Because if dwarves cross this here, there's always a risk that they're going to bump their heads whilst they do it. So now that that's done, we can block off this... we can now block off this doorway here. This staircase, because we no longer need access through here. So what we do is we go to our constructions, we construct a wall over the top of this first. And then finally just another wall here. Let's destroy this carpentry workshop. Yeah, now they just push it. It just goes around there, dumps all the... Yeah, that is beautiful. I do want this to be relatively safe, though, but we can kind of get to that later. I think it automatically goes through a trapdoor, right? If we have it. What we could do here is if we go up to say, let's say, because we still have the access staircase, so we'll just wait until they dumped all the current wood down into there before we mess with that any further. But that's a very basic setup that we got undone. We now need to look towards our actual fortress because you know, whilst we've been messing with that, more critical tasks that should have been being done or haven't been being done, including making sure that we maintain our current food levels. We have been growing some pump helmets, but or at least I think we've been growing them. Yeah, we got loads of pump helmets. Tell them to brew the pump helmets so that they can get more pump helmets from the seeds. Kitchen. It is summer. I really want them to grow cave wheat. Pump helmets. I'll tell them don't brew pump helmets just yet. Focus on brewing cave wheats first. Okay, so this level here is the one that we talked about turning this into a bedroom level, and we're not going to do anything super fancy with it. We'll just dig it out, you know, and start placing some bedrooms down. I'm not going to go super extravagant. I think we'll go with the classic 2x3 bedroom, beloved by all. I've done this a bit wrong actually, but yeah, we'll go with the classic 2x3 bedroom. I think 2x3 honestly is very generous. Me personally, you know, like these dwarves, they haven't really done anything to warrant it, but I'm feeling kind today. I'm feeling merciful. We're also having autumn coming up soon, so we need to get a trade depot down. Although we can just construct it outside and then deconstruct it later and build one in a more appropriate location. 12. We'll start with 20 bedrooms. Should cover our dwarves' population. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. This is my favorite Dwarf Fortress song, the one that's on at the moment, by the way. Or at least it's one of my favorites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Beloved by all. Yeah. These are very... there are people who build, like... there are people who do this, right? They'll like... they'll do... and then a 3-tile bedroom like this. And this is one bedroom. This is another... This is another... This is not... Like, there are people who do that. The awful diagonal rooms. I have no idea what you're on about. These are beautiful bedrooms. Okay, made out of the finest rock salt. You know, if you ever need to, if you ever you're eating your pump helmet and you feel like, oh, I could do with a little bit of salt on this. Look no further. Just you know, you got some right there. Just go lick one of the walls. Yeah, these are very beautiful. Yeah, and spacious beds. You know, plenty of space for a dwarf. We've only built one dwarf door so far, so we'll immediately use it. But yeah, we've got plenty of beds as well. So we'll just use any beds that are available. Some of these are pretty decent quality beds as well. There we go, we're out of beds. So, we got some basic rooms. Let's just set one of these to make doors. Actually, make sure to pause that first. I think I was making the beds out of willow. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just like it all if it's all kind of uniform, you know? It's satisfying me if they're all made out of the same material. Although all it does is make things more difficult, because then you got to make sure that you're cutting down each variety of tree instead of just cutting down whatever, you know, thing you fancy. Also, looks like we've got some combat going on. We'll have to check out what that is in a second. But autumn has arrived, which means that we're due to receive the caravan. We haven't built anything to sell, but we could build some stuff now that we've got our basic workshop set up for our wood production. And we can then start looking at rock production and other kinds of production as well. And now that we've got on this beautiful setup here, we can cut down so many trees and store them ready for immediate use whenever we need them. Actually, one thing I will do is I did talk about this. It's troglodyte fighting cave toad, no issue. Let's build a depot first. So again, this is going to be a temporary depot, which we will remove at a later date. But for now, we just will have it outside. Where can we put it? Where is it, in fact? It's not under construction. It's literally trade depot. I couldn't see the option. Yeah, we'll stick it here. We will just make it out of our ginkgo wooden blocks. So I'll have somebody come up and make that. But yeah, the last thing we want to do is down here, we just want to make a hatch cover. We only need one. Just make it out of whatever wood you fancy. Don't really matter. Craft Dwarf Workshop. Next, we will make some wooden boxes. So wood, open wood. And we want to make nest boxes. Actually, I'll do that once I've got the manager set up, because it'll be easier to assign that once the manager is there. Also, for some reason, I've just noticed that these haven't been dug down properly. Yeah, so this is all coming along nicely. Now we can assign our dwarves their bedrooms as soon as we've got some doors for them. And let's go back up to the surface and we'll tell them to cut down some more trees. We'll cut down loads of trees, like an obscene amount of trees. And we'll dump all of the wood into the earth so that our dwarves can appreciate it where it belongs, underground. It's a shame we don't have any fancy wood, you know, like feather wood. Although you only get that in Where's-Its, don't you? I want to seize willow trees because I said I'd make all the beds out of willow for some reason. And now that I started, I don't feel like stopping. Look at all this beautiful dwarven industry. But yeah, we wanted the hatch cover, so we got a willow hatch cover, in fact. And the reason I wanted the hatch cover was so that we could put a hatch just a few just one level up, basically. So we want to hatch here. Actually, before we place the hatch, let's just start planning out the rest of our fortress a little bit more. So we'll have a corridor that runs in this direction here and in this direction here. This is an 11 by 11 room. Let's just make an 11 by 11 room here, and this can be a stockpile room. I'll connect this up here, and then we'll make an 11 by 11 room here, and then we can put some not a stockpile, but we can put some rock workshops in here and things. So you know, we need to start getting the mechanics, we need to get some stone cutters, we'll need to get some wood burners at some point, you know, so we can burn down all this wood that we're stockpiling. Alright, so the supply caravan is here as well, which means that we should really be making some crafts of some description. Let's do that. We will make some stone crafts, or rock crafts I should say. Rock, pause the game. Doesn't really matter what we make. Let's just tell them to make crafts in general, so it's just generic. Is there any one here that's of higher value than any other? No, there isn't. What is this? This is gabbro. Okay, so we'll just tell them to make them out of gabbro because that is the closest. That's the closest stone to where they're digging, so that means that they'll prioritize, you know, using stuff that's near to them instead of digging things that are far away. Well, now let's go to our nobles, and we're going to assign a trader, a broker, and we have got a trader in the name of Zutan Corlet Seng, and we'll also make him into our bookkeeper as well, because he can do both of those jobs, although he is going to want to study, but that's fine. We'll give him a study somewhere. Probably down underneath the dirt. Yeah, and look at this massive pile of wood that we've already got from up top. So we're getting plenty of wood, plenty of all those things. We've gotten some lambs, gotten some puppies, diplomacy. Okay, so the outpost liaison is here. I'm not going to ask him for anything in particular. I'm just going to skip through that. I didn't even check and see what he wanted. I should have done that actually, but that's fine. So we'll skip through that. We'll now go back up to our bedrooms here. One thing that I really need to do is I need to make sure that we set some hotkeys. So we'll cancel this hotkey here. Hotkey 2, this can be F3 will be dorms. And we'll set them to recenter that here. So yeah, that's there. Then 4 can be workshops. Surface can be F1. And F2 can be farms. We sent it here, so F1, F2, yeah. I heard Joan is our expedition leader on one of her many adventures. Yeah, we can do that. I'll do that in a moment, though. I just want to get the bedrooms and some basic stuff down first, but we can definitely do that. I thought I told you to make doors. Did you stop? Or did I only tell you to make a single door and I forgot to put it on repeat? That's probably what I did. We ran out of willow anyway for beds, but we got plenty of beds, so no issue there. Got more than enough beds for what we need right now. So we've got 20 beds in total. And food, we're still looking pretty grim on food, but we should be fine. It started raining. Not good. We don't like it when it does that. We struck brown zircon. So what we'll do here is we're going to put some more workshops here. So specifically, we want to make some stoneworkers workshops. So put 3 of those at the top there. We also want to get a mechanics workshop. We probably only need a single mechanics workshop, honestly. It's not a massively high demand industry, but we do need one. I don't think there's anything that we're super keen on getting early. We've already got our crafts. We've gotten our stone workers up. I guess we could start getting some furnaces. Specifically, we could get our wood furnace. And we could just put a wood furnace in the corner just so that we got that ready for when we're going to start doing that. Okay, so let's go to our expedition leader here. And let's do as we suggested. Let's... Joan found us some. Our expedition leader is now in charge of the fortress, as was requested by Vommer. But yeah, we've done that. So yeah, all in all, things are going pretty well. I mean, this is, like I say, it's not a dangerous embark at all. We've gone for a very basic embark, but sometimes we like that. We don't need to do complicated, dangerous things all the time. Just most of the time. And then we can start assigning some bedrooms. Done. So now some dwarves are going to have some bedrooms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bedrooms. Okay, excellent. And we only have 11 dwarves, so we're going to have up to 20 bedrooms available. How are our crafts done? Okay, so we made some crafts, but it looks like we stopped for some reason. Not sure why. I did tell them to continue making them. You didn't run out of gabbro, did you? Because I see a shed load of it. Maybe I forgot to tell them to put that on repeat. We want to be able to trade if we can, and it's already mid-autumn. It's going to be late autumn soon. So we really ought to have our dwarves doing that. Let's just tell another dwarf to go and make... I don't know, just make some more crafts. Once we've gotten this up here, we're going to start defining some workshops. So we'll have one workshop here, which we will fill with... where is it? Finished goods. Then we'll have another workshop here, which will just be a furniture workshop. I mean, the furniture one will... Actually, this one is a massive workshop, so we want to make this a big one, so I'll have this go here. Except, and this can be, as I said, furniture. And then over here, down the sides, we'll have another one, and this can be... it'll be more important later, but for now we'll just set this as a bars and blocks stockpile. So we'll do all that. And now we should get them to make some bins. I don't really care what they make bins out of. I just need them to do that on repeat. So we've got some more doors going. We've got our workshop here with our crowns in and some random junk that we had accumulated previously. I think one of the things that we should do is just make some wheelbarrows as well, because it's always good to have them. Let's just make... I'll just make 1, 2, 3, 4 wheelbarrows. 5 wheelbarrows. Just a bunch of wheelbarrows. For this one, it's fine for Dwarven push power because the dwarves have to fill it up anyway. So you know the dwarf who fills it up is there in order to push it. So doesn't seem like there's any need to use anything other than that. Like push power in this instance, I think is fine. I think we missed the merchants. Okay, so the merchants have already left for, or they're. Oh wait. Yeah, they're packing up their junk, so they're about to leave. Okay, so we managed to miss the merchants because we were messing around and doing unimportant things. That's fine. It's not super important that we trade with them on this first one. We're still okay for drinks, I think. Repeat. Let's get some more brewing drinks from plants going. Let's go to not our stocks, but our kitchen. They're allowed to brew pump helmets again. We have gotten some ewes and stuff over here. We don't need to worry about any of those right now. Okay, so one thing I did want to do is I want to go to this mechanics workshop and make a bunch of mechanisms out of rock. And we've gotten some more migrants have arrived in the fortress, so let's have a look and see who's arrived. It looks like we've got a weaponsmith and an animal trainer. And another animal trainer and a hunter. Another miner and a fishery worker. Hell yeah. Fishery worker, more like bookkeeper. Yeah, okay, so we're up to 19 dwarves. I don't think there's any more than that. Okay, 19, not many, but a workable number for sure. Now that they've arrived, I'm going to appoint ourselves a manager. And it doesn't really matter who we appoint. I will pick on the fishery worker. Because I don't respect fishery workers. Now that we've gotten some more mouths in the fortress, we really ought to set up our bookkeeping and everything else. So let's start building some offices. We could build them on this level here. I don't really feel the need to build them here. Let's... where should we build the offices, I wonder? Well, we got this level here. We could just build a few offices on here. Just start building some offices here. My dwarves are ignoring wooden cages. Do you know a way to fix it? When you say that they're ignoring wooden cages, in what sense are they ignoring them? Like, are they not putting them in stockpiles, or do you mean that they are not... Because like, that can mean a couple of different things, sorry. Yeah. They don't take them to stockpiles. So if you're trying to stockpile wooden cages, then the kind of stockpile that you want is an animal stockpile. But you need to make sure that you've got it set to empty cages. Else they won't take them to... They won't fill a stockpile up with empty cages. Or if you want them to stockpile cages that have got people in them, then you want to set all on here. And you don't need to select either of these two things. But other cages they moved previously. Yeah. I don't know. I've not really had any trouble along those lines. Like the main one that I can think of is kind of what I suggested here, where people try and stockpile cages, but they're not being put into there because they haven't set up like the appropriate kind of stockpile. That's usually the reason. Oh, we also got Garnerite. That is an ore of... I can't remember what it's an ore of. It's an ore of something. Ore of nickel. I knew it was something bizarre and strange. Yeah, sorry. Unless the only thing I could think of would be that it's set to the wrong... the stockpile is set wrong, or alternatively, it could be down to is it I don't think there's any that are related to any of these. I'm not sure then, sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure what to suggest. But in any case, just going back to this now. So I need to build a couple of tables and a couple of chairs. I'm going to make these out of rock because basically the idea of my manager having to sit in a table or sit at a table made out of rock and stone is amusing to me. So I'm going to build them out of like really heavy materials. I don't know. Doesn't really matter what we do, does it? Let's just go with Gabbro. So we got those two tables there, and then we're going to need two chairs, or thrones as they're called if they're made out of rock. And again, we'll go with Gabbro and throne here. Gabbro. Is it another new fort? Yes, this is a newer fort. I wanted to start a new fort that was somewhat less dangerous because I feel like I'm making a lot of very basic mistakes with my recent fortresses. So I wanted to try and do a more laid-back sort of fortress just so that we could try a bunch of stuff that we don't normally do. So one of the things that we've done is we set up a minecart and we've been cutting down wood and dumping it into a hole in the ground which leads into our fortress. All Freeport wants a dwarf. Is there any preference for the kind of dwarf that you want? We've got peasants, we've got miners, we've got loads. And we've only got one named dwarf at the moment, so you got your free pick, basically. Farmer. Yep, sure. Farmer. Now, we've only got 2 farmers, funnily enough. Old Freeport. He's currently storing items in stockpile. It's been so long since we streamed Dwarf Fortress, people don't expect it anymore. Or at least it's been so long since we streamed Dwarf Fortress consistently. Galka wants a miner. Okay, we can do that. Actually, can we fit your full name in there? Galka Ryujin? Might be able to. I mean, I still wanted. I've never considered myself a streamer of any one game. I've always thought of myself as a variety streamer for what it's worth. Although in recent years I've mostly not been streaming anything. I've been streaming a variety of nothing. Yeah, like I do try. I've always wanted to do like a bunch of different things and not be stuck with just any one particular thing. But you know, it's yeah. Like The Sims is a game that means a lot to me in terms of it's one of my favorite games of all time. It still is to this day, even despite everything that EA has done to the game. So I do genuinely love that game. But Dwarf Fortress is another game that means a lot to me. So you know, it's I've always just kind of taken the approach of just playing the games that I enjoy. You know, the kind of things that I love. You know, this is one of those games. It's Dwarf Fortress, one of the greatest games ever made, if not the greatest game ever made. Although I don't think you can. I don't know. Can you say that there is the greatest game ever made? I mean, I guess it depends how you define these things, right? And it's all going to be subjective. But Dwarf Fortress is, I think it's an amazing game. Despite its, or maybe because of its many weird idiosyncrasies. God, my ability to speak has definitely degraded as well since the last time I streamed. Oh God, okay. So yeah, let's just dig out some more rooms for bedrooms. We still need to set up a proper dining room. We're going to need to set up a proper, just everything. But we're getting there. Our dwarves are going to live the life of Riley. They're going to live you know, lives in luxury. or at least that's what we're aiming for. We're going to give them the finest goblets made out of the finest lead. You know, the first game I ever streamed on Twitch was Tropico 3. So you could say that I'm a Tropico 3 streamer. Alright, yeah, this is all coming along fine here. We've got a bunch of crafts here. They're still making more. We probably don't need them to make any more crafts, but we'll let them continue with that. We've got a bunch of mechanisms. Not many, but we have got some. So what I wanted to do here was I wanted to go up here one, and then do a construct here and put a hatch. That's what I wanted. I wanted a hatch. Where is it? Is it not under constructions? Is it under furniture? I saw it somewhere earlier. Doors, hatches, yeah. Actually, we don't really want a hatch, do we? We could do with maybe... we don't need a hatch. We could do with a... God, what could we do instead? Just like bars, probably. Yeah, we'll just use bars. Oh, we don't have any bars, do we? Okay. Alright, let's just quickly make some. No, we can make a floor grate. That's the no. We'll make it bars. Why not? Bars are thematic. We'll have someone make not ash. We don't want ash. We want charcoal. And then we'll put down our. We'll probably move this later on, but we've got 3 different furnaces. So let's just place one of them down, and we'll make a smelter. And workshop, smelter, metalsmiths. Hauling lead barrels. I wish the broker didn't track bars that were being used for constructions. Yeah. The things that are and aren't tracked in this game are a bit strange. For sure. Do we have lignite? I actually can't remember. I remember seeing limonite, but I don't think I saw lignite. We actually do have lignite somewhere in the fortress. I mean, I should have known that we did, because if you go on here, you'll see that it says make coke from lignite, which can only show up if you got it, so, yeah. These empty barrels. Also, okay. Alright, let's start making barrels now. That's the next task, making barrels. Put that on repeat. Our food stocks are dwindling. We need to assign these offices to our nobles. There's always so many things to do. It never ends. The life of a fortress is just insane. Oh no, that's the symbol, isn't it? Oh no, yeah, I forgot. It's this way around. So we assign an office here. We can have 2 different offices here. This office we assign to our manager, and this one we assign to our broker, who is also our bookkeeper. Then we go into our nobles and administrators. We want highest precision on that. We've now got our manager set up so that we can set up manager tasks. The first manager task that we will set up will go to work orders here. new work order, and it's going to be very, very basic nest boxes out of rock. Rock nest boxes, and we will make 10 of these. It'll be a one-time order. We will use, doesn't really matter what we use, we'll just use Gabbro, and we'll set that up immediately. The one nice thing about him tracking that, and this is going to be a really weird one, but years ago when I tried to build a soap fortress, I was keeping track of how much soap had been used to build the fortress, because they were counting the individual bars of soap that had been placed in the fortress. That was a very long time ago. We haven't tried soap fortress in a long time. You know, that was that's an old saga, but maybe we can try again one day. We'll see. Yeah, kitchen. Our kitchen stocks are really, really not good. We've got plenty of beer and wine. We've still got our chinchilla meat and some of these other foods and things. Cave wheat. We should be, well, we could grind the cave wheat down later on, but for now, yeah, they're planting the seeds. That's fine. We've only got poor soil because we're doing it inside here. What maybe we'll do is I'll just tell them to go and gather a bunch of food from outside whilst it's still pretty safe, and then we can use that to make some more variety of drinks as well, and it'll give them more to eat as far as like food is concerned. Oh god, saving game, doing all this junk. Winter is here, and important thing to note, the river freezes. This is obviously very important to note, because that's going to affect our decisions. Like, for example, if we wanted to build a bridge over the water, if we were to dig out of here, across here to get to this side, then we'd obviously need to be careful because anything could walk up here and into the fortress. Although our fortress is really undefended as it is, and we should also start thinking about that. So I think one of the things that we'll do now is we'll build a bridge here. Don't use closest material actually. Why did I set that to that? We'll build a bridge, and then this will be one that we can link up to, close the fortress down if we need to. So we'll do that, and we'll just do that out of, I don't know, claystone, why not? The claystone bridge. Are you going to try to melt the ice at some point? Maybe. Maybe we'll do something like that. I mean, we're keeping it relatively simple for now. We're not doing anything too out of the ordinary, too extraordinary here. But, later on, if we continue with this fortress, that's definitely something that we could consider. I'm not averse to the idea. So, yeah, definitely could potentially do something along those lines. As and when it comes down to it, I suppose. Alright, and what I want to do up here is I want to build a floor. We're going to need 48 blocks, aren't we? Yeah, we'll just tell them to make more ginkgo wood blocks. That's something we can tell our manager to do, actually. We can set up a manager order for that. No, I don't want adamantine arrows. Wooden blocks is what I want, and we'll set this to 10. That's 10 times 4, that would be 40, so 20 would be 80, so we'll set that to 20, and again we'll just use ginkgo wood just so that I can keep track of which kind of wood I've used. I also think ginkgo is probably the most abundant kind of wood that we've got access to at the moment. So yeah, we'll have a drawbridge here, which will allow us to close this up, and we'll have this locked off here. So this will be entirely enclosed, and we'll be able to, keep anything out. We'll also eventually want to build a similar structure on this side just to keep our animals safe, because our animals so far are just roaming around outside. They're probably going to get killed in the first siege. So we want to consider that and make sure that we're not going to have anything nasty happen. Let's set a plant gathering order real quick, because I had mentioned it before. So I'm just going to tell them to gather everything outside here. Just gather all these plants, just anything that you can gather and is edible. And then construction, we just want a very basic bridge here, and we'll make this out of, again, we'll just use our ginkgo wood blocks for that. Wait, I did do that. I'm going to cancel that because I'm a bit paranoid that I didn't do that right. I want to make sure I got this absolutely right. Yeah, it's facing the right way. Good. A bit paranoid about these things. Right. Hey, Dagoth, welcome. So yeah, so by doing this, then we'll be able to make sure that this wood access is secure. Speaking of wood, we'll tell them to go cut down some more trees. Whilst we're doing that, you know, we just want to always have wood. But it all ends up inside the fortress anyway through this clever system. Look at all this beautiful stockpile of wood that we got here. And look how much beautiful bits of wood we got to work with. I love it, don't you? But we just need to make sure that like you know, like junk can't get inside here, right? Like that's the main thing. And I'm being a bit paranoid with this, but yeah, we're getting some coke on here. So now that we've gotten the coke here, I'm going to tell them to. Well, he's cancelled the order anyway because he actually ran out of lignites, which is fine. Let's tell them to make some bars. Let's just smelt a random ore. We'll smelt some garnierite, ore, which is an ore of nickel. And then we can put some nickel bars over this space here. Nickel, the strongest metal known to man. Yeah, we'll put it on top of here. So we'll have some bars here, and then we'll attach that to a lever so that we can close that as well. So that we can also just close this, and that's like a second little bit of extra defense. You know, you can never be too careful with these things. So we've gotten our first claystone bridge set up. I want to make sure that we have like a control room, I guess you could call it, or like a place with levers that's nearby. And probably one of the best places for us to have a bunch of levers is in or near to where the dormitories are. So let's dig out these little spots here. And let's start constructing some levers. So first workshop, it's in, where is it? Machines, yeah. Let's place one here. It doesn't really matter what we do. We'll use the ortho-place ones just so that they're all the same color. Okay, so we should have enough wooden blocks now. It's taking them a while to construct this because they've got to haul them all the way upstairs, which is, you know, understandably takes them a while to do that. And then we want to just make sure that we're covering this up as well with our remaining wooden blocks. So and then this way we're able to make this you know, airtight and just a safe way. So they can deposit their wood and stuff here. It's open to the public at the moment, to the outside world, but we have the ability to close it down if a siege arrives. So you really need to think about this kind of stuff whenever you're playing this game. I often fail to do it. Yeah. Alright, and then we'll place the nickel floor bars over here. Okay, I'm going to place one of the other levers down here as well. So we'll place one here, just because it's going to be, you know, this is the access. It's close to the stockpile, so we'll name all of them anyway, so that we remember what they do. But we'll place this one here, and this will close the hole basically and prevent anything from coming down here. Because at the moment the nickel bars will just, yeah, you can see here. Although construction inactive. I'm going to guess that everybody's trying to haul things at the moment. Oh, well, they're all constructing the floor, which is the main thing that's taking time. Right, we've got the next nest boxes. What can we do? Let's just set up some more tasks and things. Just some random junk that I need to do. So tasks, where is it? Manager tasks. This is all just like junk that I know that needs to be done. So goblets, for example. Actually, smelt this ore. Yeah, just smelt 10 of it. I don't know if we got 10. Smelt 5 of it. Yeah, we got at least 5 of it. So smelt 5 of that. Then, because we're going to need some goblets, and I may as well just use whatever random metals I have that are not very high value. Just forge, yeah, 10 of those. So we'll tell them to make some goblets out of nickel. You know, again, one of the strongest metals known to mankind, or dwarvenkind. Really, it's the only metal known to dwarvenkind at the moment, so, yeah. We should also tell them to make some, we'll set up our first repeating order, so charcoal. So make charcoal. So, this is going to be one that we're going to do on repeat. So if the number of refined charcoal available is less than, let's say 20. If the amount of refined charcoal available is less than 20, then make 10 charcoal. And check that every month. We don't care about material or anything else. Just make sure that we've always got access to at least a little bit of charcoal. We'll obviously focus on making lignite because it's more efficient than charcoal. But, you know, just burning logs in order to make charcoal is not a bad shout at the start. Because we're going to go through a lot of it. And here we go. Our farmer here is going to make some nickel goblets. Value 20. They're basically worth nothing. Alright, so this has not been done yet. So they've constructed the nickel floor bars. They've still not constructed... Oh, they have constructed this. So yeah, we link this lever here. We don't really care what mechanisms they use for this. It's not important. So we link it to this here. So at the moment you see the wood just ends up on this pile here. Yeah. We just need them to link this. At the moment they're going to try and... They're going to... in fact, this is going to cause issues. So what we'll do is there an option to temporarily suspend it? No, there isn't. I guess until one of our dwarves does that and leave it, they're going to be a bit perplexed. That's fine. We can just let them be perplexed. They are linking it up, so one dwarf is active on that. Don't need any more rock mechanisms. We've got more than enough rock mechanisms at this point. All these beautiful goblets. Yeah, we should do. This tile should be restricted, yeah. Actually, probably the easiest way to do it would just be to yeah, so they don't walk across that. So they'll try and avoid it. Obviously, there's the risk that whilst they're putting logs in, then they'll get hit on the head by something, but that's one that we're willing to take. Okay, we'll get rid of the wooden bin task. We'll also get rid of the barrel task here, because we want to use that through the manager screen. So we should have that set up as a manager task instead. So a new one will be barrels. So wooden barrels. Make wooden barrels. New task. Conditions will be if the number of barrels is less than 10, Just make 10 more barrels, that's fine. Don't need to do anything too fancy. I noticed that we don't have any drinks. Let's check our kitchen. There are plenty of things that we can make into drinks. Alright, so we'll tell them to make some more drinks. We should really have that set up as a manager task as well, actually. I think for now, I always struggle with this one, but we'll do it. So, make drinks. Brew drink from plant. So, if the number of drinks available is less than, let's say, 50, then brew 10 drinks, and just keep checking that every single day. In fact, brew 25 drinks. Just keep checking that every single day, so that we have at least 50 drinks at any given time. We'll definitely want to do more and more at future point. But yeah, that task has been set up. We have got plenty of wooden barrels at the moment, so... Yeah, and they are currently, you know, making cave wheat into wine and things. Yeah, there we go, starting getting some drinks. Cave dwarven beer. More dwarven beer. Look at all these pump helmets we got, and then just this junk, you know, like potatoes and leeks and stuff. Yeah, make some vodka for us. Why not? Finger millets. All right, so we got on the 20 goblets. We're getting our drinks up. We're running low on meat, but it doesn't really matter, just so long as we've got food in general. That's the main concern. All of our offices are done. Plenty of bedrooms for the time being. Yeah, so this is linked up here, so let's tell someone to come pull this lever. And then this one here, we're gonna name this one to entrance bridge, so that we know that this one is linked to the entrance bridge. And then we're gonna link it to this gate here, so that we can close this. And now we should be able to link all of these fine like that. And then this one here, this will be, we'll rename this one to Wood Stockpile Bridge. And then we link this one to this bridge here. And again, we don't really care which mechanisms they use, just so long as they do it. It looks like it's snowing. Hey, a little bit of snow covering the place. I'll tell them to plant gather some more just whilst we can. Eventually, we're not going to be able to do this, so just getting a variety of different random drinks and things is good. Like, oh, we got carrot wine, for example, quinoa beer, white millet. No vodka, surprisingly. We do have potatoes. We are going to need some more interesting food. Oh, one thing I forgot to do ages and ages ago. Furniture. Where is it? What is it in workshops for some reason? I think it's in farming, isn't it? Yeah, nest boxes. Yeah, there you go. We're going to put some nest boxes in our goose room, so that we can actually breed our geese, which we just had sitting up here for God knows how long. Do we have any animals that we can butcher as well? Just to get a little bit extra meat. We have got one unhappy dwarf. I wonder why they're unhappy. Oh, it's our manager. Let me guess. Unable to pray. Caught in a snowstorm, unable to pray. Although she acquired something which made her happy. So yeah, we need to set up some temples as a next step, and we're also going to need some. We'll probably have temples on this level, I guess. I mean, we're not really doing anything with it. We have some offices here, but we can definitely do more on here. So yeah, why don't we plan out some temple rooms? 7x7 rooms. Don't need to be massive, do they? I mean, 7x7 is pretty big, I would say. We'll get 4 temples in here. Yeah, temples are very irritating to set up, but you know, at least if we get started on it early, then we've gotten a bunch to begin with, and you know, we don't have to worry too much about it until, you know, if we start with 4, then that's a good number to begin with, and then we can obviously do more as and when we need to. And we just make them 7x7 rooms. It's plenty of space. We can make them fancier if we need to later down the line, but for now they're just going to be very basic rooms that we stick them into, basically. It'll also help us mine out some more metals and things, which I guess is also nice. Oh yeah, we're out of plants, which means that we've ran through everything that we've got available. They can now cook pump elements. I usually turn off pump element cooking, just brewing every so often, just to make sure that they are not just drinking dwarf wine, because it upsets them if they drink the same thing over and over again. Honestly, I have no idea. I tend to make an undedicated temple, but probably the answer is no. I don't know, though. Like, I actually just don't know whether it's worth it or not, I'm afraid. But seeing as how we have got one happy dwarf, let's start getting those temples, and we'll focus on doing temples that this guy wants to pray in. Erdim help blockade. Erdim. There's a god called Erdim. Erdim. Yeah. So yeah. So let's do this. So temple. Is it just meeting area and then you assign it? I think it is. Yeah. You just do this, don't you? Then you add a location. Yeah. Temple. So who is it? Erdim was one of them. This guy, the God of Fortresses. He's got a lot of worshippers as well. So we'll start with this one. The Healing Cathedral. I do like the addition of places, though. I think it's quite nice to, you know, have to build temples and things. It's just kind of like the quantity of them that you have to build, which is obviously the sticking point. Yeah, but I mean, that one is a little bit more understandable, I feel. Like, there's things that dwarves get upset about that aren't that understandable, and then there are ones that is like, yeah, I understand why that would permanently scar you for life. Also, I love how we built this meeting area, and all of a sudden, all the dogs came down here. Because we just had, like, dogs running wild in our fortress. We should probably butcher some of them at some point. Get ourselves some delicious dog meat. New temple. Okay. So, yeah. So we'll hide the established ones. So these are the ones that don't have established ones. Nice little dwarf hack feature, by the way. Let's go with the Boar of Apes. Etoll, the Boar of Apes. The Mint Church. Then here we'll have another one. Temple to Let's see. Adil, Diamond Tin. I think that was the other one that he wanted to worship at that he wasn't able to do. And then the last one, except here, New Temple. Let's go Terrim, Bones Buried, the Church of Skulls. I haven't seen any dwarves get stuck personally, so I've not encountered that. So I've not encountered that one. The most annoying one I find is actually dwarves being away from family, because they can get upset about that, but there can just be no way of fixing it because like their family members are, you know, on the other side of the planet or whatever. So, you know, I find that to be more irritating than anything else. How many bars of nickel did we have? We have at least a few, don't we? 14, okay. Is it 3 per? Yeah, okay. 3 times 4 would be 12. Yeah, so no, actually 4 times 3 would be, yeah, it is 12. Okay. Yeah. Nickel chests. Make 12 nickel chests. So I'm just going to tell them to make some chests out of nickel, so that we use the nickel, and so that they get some skills in making stuff out of metal. I'm also going to tell them to butcher some animals, because I want to start. We don't have any meat, which would be nice to have, but also we need to. I want to get some bones so that we can use the bones in order to make some instruments, because usually. Instruments are procedurally generated, but usually there are instruments that you can make just out of bones, so usually it's a good one to go for. So I don't know what we will butcher, probably a dog. Oh, there's a stray piglet. Some dwarf has got a pet turkey, and another one's got a pet duckling. We've also got the stray yak bull. Oh, we've actually got a breeding pair of yak bulls, apparently. No, we don't. Okay, they're not breeding. Let's just butcher one of the yaks. That'll give us a lot of meat. They're not a breeding pair anyway. Let's just get rid of one of them. What's your trick for keeping all the random people fulfilled for crate item needs? Bone crafts is good, as Wilmer has said. I also find that just any kind of like low value craft is not that important. Like crafting things out of metal is obviously quite good, but yeah. Usually, if I notice someone who's like upset, then I'll tell them to. I'll assign them to a detail and tell them to go craft a bunch of junk until they're satisfied. But that's definitely a good one. Okay, so bone. Where is it? It's in here, isn't it? Make instruments. Oh, what's a knobgost? Okay, so we can make knobgosts. We'll make 10 of them. We'll make 10. We'll make 15 knobgosts. Because we got 16 yak bones, so we'll make 15 of them. Oh yeah, totems are also good because you can't use skulls for anything else. In fact, we should also make a totem because I think we'll have at least one skull, won't we? I don't know why I'm checking. I know the answer is yes, but I want to see if it shows up under bones, body parts. Yeah, we got a stray yak ball. Okay, bone. Where is it? Totem. It should be on here. Bone scepter? No. Or is it actually not in the menu? Is it somewhere else? It's somewhere. Alright, just let the game save again, and then we'll continue with this for a little bit longer. I always there's like a bunch of junk that I just never bother using. I should try and use as many items as I've got access to. We got like horns, for example. We could decorate some stuff with horns. How many horns did we get? Oh, we got 2 horns. Let's make some horn crafts. Just we can sell them. Let's make a. Yeah, make a totem. No, decorate with horn? Nah, let's not do that. Horn. Make a large horn gem. Like, how does that work? Curious what a large horn gem looks like. How do you... Oh, let me guess. It takes multiple yak ball bones in order to make a knobgost, or is it just that okay, it can tax 1 chop max. Yeah, so it can go to this one but not the other one. There we go, we got a yak ball skull totem here. This is a well-crafted yak ball skull totem, worth barely anything, but we'll sell it to some sucker at some point. And we got on all the knobgosts, and we got on all the nickel chests. Excellent. So yeah, we made the chests so that we can put the chests inside the temples. So furniture, chests. Just put we'll just put one in the center of each one, and then that way they should start putting instruments inside them, and then they have instruments inside the temples. Not that I ever really see them dance or anything. I think it's probably because I end up blocking the floor space by putting chests in the middle of the temple, but it's whatever. You know, that dwarf who was upset is no longer upset, so we've made one dwarf happy. So we're starting to make our dwarves happier by having them able to pray, and now they'll start putting these in here. Let's read the description of this. So, the knobgost is a small handheld conical bore-bone wind instrument. The musician blows into the fipple at one end. The musician selects the pitch by stopping holes. The instrument has 4-octave range, going from a middle to an extremely high pitch. At all pitches, the instrument has an evolving timbre. It has 3 registers. The low has a choppy, eerie, fragile timbre. The middle begins at mid-high pitch and has a delicate floating timbre. And the high register begins at a very high pitch. Okay, so yeah, it's just like a weird yak bone, a weird yak bone, whatever. But still, at least we got temples. The next thing we need to do is get some dining rooms. That's going to be the next big thing. But we can manage that soon. Okay, we've been streaming for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm going to call it here for today. A bit of a short stream, but you know, it's been fun. Just kind of getting back into this. We'll definitely continue with this at some point soon, and we'll also definitely continue with Dwarf Fortress. No, The Sims 3 at some point as well. So keep an eye out for both of those. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed it, then you know, make sure to give a follow if you're not already following, and I'll see you guys again next time whenever we continue. But have a good one, and goodbye for now.